Hey everyone, welcome to the show. So Michael Cohen, Donald Trump's former fixer, his attorney, was back on the stand today in the New York hush money trial, the election interference trial. Cohen noted that he did very little work for Trump in 2017, but as we all know, he was still receiving very large payments. We know this now to be the reimbursement for the Stormy Daniels payoff. Also, as we all know, they doubled it to cover his taxes, which is not how attorneys are paid. And Cohen said the Trump organization paid for his attorney when he was subpoenaed to testify before Congress. So that's when he lied to Congress. He admits that, he owns it. So he went on today to say that he did more work for Trump in 2018 than he did in 17 because of the Stormy Daniels story about it making the news and him trying to have, cover it up for Trump and all these payments. So Cohen also said he drafted a response to the Federal Elections Commission because they were investigating these potential violations of campaign finance laws, the crimes of passing through illegal funds to a campaign, essentially an in-kind donation that Trump did not say was a donation or benefited his campaign. And Cohen said that he purposely, intentionally misled the FEC in that statement that he drafted, because in it, Cohen wrote very specific language. He said that the Trump campaign and Trump organization had nothing to do with the payments to Stormy Daniels. Now, that is technically true, but the statement didn't address the fact that the payments, or in this case, the reimbursement for the payment to Daniels, was made directly from Donald Trump's personal funds. Because remember, it came out last week, Trump was paying Cohen out of the Donald J. Trump Revocable Trust. So it didn't come from the company funds. So again, technically true, but not the entire truth. So then the prosecutor brought up how Cohen was raided by the FBI. Cohen told the jury it was, a very difficult situation. He was very concerned. He called Trump right away. Trump reassured him, don't worry about it. I'm the president. And he said that his attorney general, who was Jeff Sessions at that time, that Jeff Sessions would take care of it. So that phone call in 2018 was the last time that Cohen spoke directly with Donald Trump. And then Cohen said that Trump was tweeting out support for him in the months that followed that conversation. And that's what kept Cohen loyal. He just felt like Trump had his back. He was going to take care of him. Then Cohen was contacted, he said, by attorney Robert Costello. So Costello had offered to represent Cohen in this DOJ investigation. And he was a really close friend of Trump attorney and America's defendant, Rudy Giuliani. Cohen said that Costello acted essentially, and Giuliani, as a back channel to Trump so that they could covertly communicate while this investigation was going on. And to prove that this back channel existed, the prosecutor showed an email which Costello had sent to Cohen. This was in June of 2018. And it said, quote, "My friend is meeting with his client." And then he basically asked him, is there anything you want me to pass along? Any communication you want? And then at one point, Costello sent Cohen a video about Cohen potentially cooperating in the Mueller probe. And Cohen told the jury, yeah, that was part of Trump's pressure campaign to keep me quiet. So he would communicate these things indirectly. And Cohen confirmed that he never told Costello the truth about Stormy Daniels and Karen McDougal because he said, I didn't trust him. I didn't trust the guy. He said, I was loyal to Trump. He feared that if he told Costello everything, Costello would run back to Giuliani and he would tell Giuliani everything. We all know Giuliani has loose lips, as we've learned. And then the prosecutor got into the story of how and why Cohen ended up changing his mind about Trump, why he flipped on him. So Cohen shared a story when all of this was going down, he was under investigation. He had a meeting with his family. He sat with his wife and his 2 kids, and they confronted him and asked him, why are you continuing to be loyal? Why are you holding on to this loyalty to Trump? Your loyalty and your first priority should be us, should be your family. And they later asked Cohen, why did you pay Stormy Daniels? And he explained it was to protect Trump. It was to boost his chances of becoming president, and because Trump told me to. And then Cohen was also asked about his plea agreement. So that came after, the conversation with his family. He decided, okay, I'm just going to tell the truth, do the right thing here. He said the day he pleaded guilty to these crimes was the worst day of his life. And then the day after Cohen's plea agreement, Trump tweeted out that if anyone was looking for a good lawyer, he strongly suggested you don't retain Cohen. So amazing how he flipped as well. Later in Cohen's testimony, the prosecutor went into a bunch of detail about his prison sentence, why he pleaded guilty, why he lost his law license as a result of all this. He also confirmed he's still on the receiving end of Trump's ire. And the prosecutor asked Cohen, do you regret your past work and your association with Trump? And Cohen said, I'll never regret my time at the Trump Organization. I enjoyed it. There were things that I very much appreciated. I felt like a part of the family. But Cohen said, quote, I regret doing things for him that I should not have done. And he mentioned like lying, bullying people. Then he went on to say that, I didn't follow my moral compass and I should have. So then they broke for lunch. When they came back, Cohen was back on the stand and they started the cross-examination. So Todd Blanche got up and it was like, what are you doing? What is this all about? Because he launched into an attack on Cohen, but it wasn't an attack that you would think. He brought up a TikTok video in which Cohen called Blanche a crying little shit. And Cohen was like, yeah, like he didn't flinch. He just said, sounds like something I'd say. I mean, why is Blanche making it about him? It's bizarre. And the whole afternoon went down that way. Cohen said the same thing. He gave the same answer when Blanche confronted him about calling Trump a douchebag. He called him like a Cheeto dusted clown or something like that. And Cohen just like, yeah, probably. Sounds like something I'd say. And then the defense got into a bunch of different questions about Cohen's podcast, his live TikTok videos, other ways where he, publicly berates Trump. So obviously they were trying to paint Cohen as this aggrieved, bitter former employee, almost like, a jilted past lover. And then Attorney Blanche repeatedly in various ways kept asking Cohen, do you want Trump to go to prison? Have you said you want him to go to prison? And Cohen agreed. He said, quote, I would like to see accountability. And then Blanche showed him and the jury some of Cohen's merchandise, which depicts Trump behind bars in an orange jumpsuit. He showed other images from his podcast, again, depicting Trump in prison. There was a T-shirt that Cohen had on in one video that said, send him to the big house, not the White House. I mean, yeah, given the fact that Cohen's life was completely destroyed as a result of his involvement with Trump, I would think anyone could understand why he loathes Trump. I mean, yes, Cohen's a big boy. He's a grown-ass man. He made his decisions and he put himself in this position. But he was doing it for this man who in the end had no loyalty towards him. So yeah, I would say he's bitter, but doesn't let Trump off the hook. And then anyway, Blanche accused Cohen of being obsessed with Trump. Cohen said, I don't know if I would characterize it that way as obsessed, but he said, I did admire him. And then Blanche confronted Cohen about positive comments that he made about Trump during the campaign. And Cohen conceded at that time, those statements were real. That is what I believed. And he said it was because he was, quote, knee deep into the cult of Donald Trump. So it went on like that for several hours before they finally cut out for the day. He basically didn't lay much of a glove on Cohen. It was kind of strange. Like I said, started off bizarre. Blanche made it about him for some reason. It was kind of all over the place. I mean, he just, I don't know. I get where they're trying to go with this. I just don't think that it's that effective. And especially when you have someone like Cohen who is like, yeah, I'm going to own it. I'm going to tell the truth. Yes, I hate this guy. Here's the reasons why. Here's why I, tried to defend him and cover up for him for so long. And yes, he's a gross person and I didn't see it and now I do. And now I'm telling the truth. So we'll see what happens. As you all know, Wednesday, there is no court. They will be back on Thursday. They will pick up with the cross-examination and then the prosecutor will have a chance to redirect. But the defense told the judge they're most likely not going to call any witnesses. They had 3 total as possibilities, one of which was Trump. They're saying, we don't know about Trump. Another person might. It depends on the jury instructions. And then a third person is completely out. So more than likely, they're not calling anyone. And then the prosecutor said that Cohen is the final witness. So once they're done with him, that's it. It goes to the defense. Now, yesterday, it was reported, and I shared with you that there would be one additional person testifying, but that either changed or journalists were mistaken. So this should be, as I said, it should be over this week. Again, they will be back on Thursday, but they're cutting out early on Thursday because a juror has to leave early. So they will end court at 4 p.m. Eastern. And then on Friday, they are off because of Barron Trump's graduation, which still, the jury is out as to whether or not Trump is actually going to go now that he made a big stink about it. Anyway, I will let you know when I hear more on Thursday about all this. Thank you so much for watching and listening. Please like, share, and subscribe. Please donate if you can. Love you all. Take care. Talk with you soon.